You're right. I think you're right on that.
Oh, she hit
But
the oldie tunes for us.
it's
All right.
all good. It's all good. No, it's like it's September. We almost can't use that song anymore. Last month it was August by Taylor Swift. This month, September, Earth, Wind, and Fire. We'll
Yeah.
we'll be, we'll be staying in theme, guys. Don't worry. Just wait for
October.
that Christmas music. I'm just kidding. On Jingle bells and stuff. No, we're one step at a time. We are still in September. We have lots to do before the end of the year. So here we are. We're getting it done. So good morning, you guys. Happy Wednesday. Good morning, Esther. Thanks for joining us. I hope you guys are having a great week this week. We're happy to be back. Happy to have Anish back in here teaching and also Harry as well. So you guys gotta lock in for this one because it's gonna be a good one. But welcome, everybody. Welcome to BPM RIA. This is Broward Palm Beach, Miami-Dade Real Estate Investors Association, your only local and approved chapter here in South Florida that is partnered and in compliance with the National Real Estate Investors Association, which we are so happy that it is their 40th year anniversary. And we will be meeting at their conference in just a week and a half. Literally only a week and a half left until we'll be meeting with all of the real leaders around the country, getting updates, legislative updates, member updates, benefit updates, all of these things, just continuing to add and add and add for your memberships and for your discounts and all the benefits that you get. So we're really excited to meet with them and just get as much as we can, soak it all in, maybe some new speakers, new we'll see. There's some good things that are coming. So I'll be really excited to report back to you guys. And if you don't know me, I'm Alexa, COO here at BPM RIA. We have an awesome webinar for you guys. It's going to be taught by our CEO and lead mentor, Anish Dave, as well as one of our lead mentors, Harry Diamond. And they're going to talk about mastering deal analysis, how to make smart investment decisions in minutes. And you guys may wonder, how is that even possible? And trust me, we're going to break it down today so that you guys have a really good understanding of how we're doing this on a daily basis. We have many students under us, and we have to be able to do this regularly. So, just to get us started on a really awesome note, somebody in here will be winning a free seat to our 2-day quick start. This is where some major growth happens for those that may be new or not so new in this space, because we have our strategies that work and we talk about it in this 2-day quick start training. So this is going to be a $695 value boot camp online, and somebody in here will be winning a free seat. How to do that? All you need to do is text the word quick start to this phone number you see on the screen, 954-800-6961. Somebody in here will win the raffle at the very end of today's webinar. So look out in the chat box. I'll be popping those details in the chat box, reminding you throughout today's session. And please, please, please go and enter. This is something that even if you can't attend, you can gift it to somebody, and it's absolutely incredible. Trust me, we love this training so much. That's why we do it 4 times per year. So easy way to keep up with our events, which you guys, we have an in-person workshop this Saturday. Please go register, check it out. All you need to do is RSVP. We're having a workshop this Saturday, all focused on mindset, certainty, and influence. This is something that we are very passionate about as a RIA. We all have a big calling to influence people to be the best version of themselves and to really just create an impact that lasts for generations to come. So we love to bring this in, all the whole mindset teachings. We love this. So that's why we're having a workshop all about it this Saturday. And it's a 2-hour workshop. All you need to do is RSVP and get on the list so that we know you're coming and we bring enough coffee for you. So please, if you can, RSVP, so we're not having any surprises or not low on coffee or anything for you guys. So, and go ahead and text BPM REIA to 954-800-6961. Details are in the chat, you guys. Stop chatting me the raffle. Go ahead and text that to that number that you see on the screen, and don't text me in the chat box. It's not going to get you into the raffle, guys. I'm sorry. This is a workflow we automate here at BPM RIA. We have systems built, and you chatting in the chat box is not going to get you in the raffle. So please go ahead and follow those directions. I love you guys so much. You guys know that I want you guys to win. So details in the chat for you guys. And still chatting in the chat box. Guys, stop chatting the raffles in the chat box because you're not going to win if you do that. So details and instructions are in the chat for y'all. BPM 2-day quick start dates are November 15th and 16th. Mark your calendars. This is the last training of 2025. I cannot stress enough how important it is to get locked in for this last one so that you can start the year on the best note possible. And like I mentioned, we only hold this training 4 times per year. So we don't want you to have to wait months to get into the next one. You must register. Go ahead and check out the link. I'm putting it in the chat box. It is bpmquickstart.com. Check out all the topics we cover. We're going to get into wholesaling, flipping, rehabbing. We're going to incorporate AI, incorporate creative financing hacks. We are literally putting doing the numbers and getting answers and analyzing properties within this training. You guys are going such a big mindset shift when it comes to wholesaling and flipping. You're going to be very, very happy that you did this. And just in case you are not, we have our money back guarantee. So this is the safest and best training that you can take. And thank you guys so much for responding to the poll. I truly appreciate that. We are really excited and happy to bring this in to our RIA. We are really, really grateful. And you guys, this entire training is led by Anish Dave, our CEO and lead mentor. And we have 4 incredible guest speakers on this training. So you're going to absolutely love it. Let me turn off my video because I feel like I'm freezing. All right. Can you guys still hear me?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So memberships, you guys get all of the benefits, all of the goodies. You get in quarterly networking meetings. You get special pricing on our boot that just showed you guys. You get special pricing on all of our workshops that we offer member and non-member pricing for, as well as the incredible benefit package that we get through the National RIA. That's going to be huge discounts to Home Depot, Millennial Property Insurance, Avis, Budget, Office Depot, you guys. Big discounts. So go ahead and get your membership if you don't have it already. We have them all on the website, individual memberships as well as corporate memberships. Go ahead and press that link in the chat if you don't have your membership and go and get it. So you are ready for our next quarterly networking meeting happening November 5th, if I'm not mistaken. That'll be the first Wednesday of November. And we meet every quarter at Nova Southeastern University in Davie, Fort Lauderdale area on the college campus. So really, really looking forward to that one. And that is already posted for you guys on our upcoming events. So please go get your tickets. Members, go get your free tickets. Non-members, you guys will be paying $15 early bird and $20 if you wait till the day of. So we'll see you guys there. And last but very, very not least, you guys, we are one-on-one coaching and mentoring here at BPM RIA. You are truly one-on-one matched with your own personal mentor. You don't have to re-explain your whole story, your goals, or anything to multiple mentors. You all get your own personal mentor where we put up 100% of the money for our students' deals and split the profit 50-50. So this is just absolutely incredible and very unique program that we offer. And we want to get you all the information you need to decide if this is a good fit for you. So and book your discovery call on our website, bpmria.com. Book that discovery call with me. I'll get you a copy of our brochure where we have the full breakdown of everything we include in our 2 programs that we offer, as well as the pricing information. So I really, really look forward to speaking with you guys. I love getting to know you, getting to know what your goals are, what you're looking for. This is that time that we need to go and do that. So I just want to thank you guys so much for popping in today on our webinar. I always want to take a moment to thank the National RIA for everything that they provide us. We are so, so grateful. And I always want to take a moment to thank all of our vendor partners that help sponsor our events. They are absolutely incredible. You guys go check them out on our website on bpmraa.com. Click that vendor partners tab. You'll see all of the links in the chat, and I will continue putting a ton of helpful links in the chat. Guys, please go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel. This is where we post all of the recordings for our incredible webinars that we host on a weekly basis. So I don't want you guys to miss it. And I love when you guys share this with other people too. So please go ahead and subscribe so you get notified every time we upload a new replay. And guys, we don't want to miss your questions. So a couple housekeeping. Go ahead and put your questions in the Q&A box. You'll see a Q&A box in your Zoom menu, and we'll be chatting with you guys in the chat box. I'm sure Anish wants to hear from you, so go ahead and chat with us in the chat box and just take as much from this webinar that you possibly can and ask those questions before 5 minutes, the last 5 minutes of the webinar. So thank you guys so much for the time, and I will be here in the background if you have any questions for me.
Awesome. Thank you, Alexa. Wow, I'm seeing a lot of new names on our webinar. So welcome for the newbies. Go ahead and put in the chat where you're listening in from. Some of you guys are not local. Some of you guys may be local. I do see a lot of familiar faces too. So welcome back when it comes to it. And so if you don't know who I am the president of BPM RIA. I'm actually a board member for a national RIA. Our team is, we got Harry Diamond. I'll let him introduce himself in a few minutes. Victoria Diamond, his wife, our mentors, Michael and Abby, Taryn, and Denise and Lucian are also mentors. So my background a little bit is I've been a real estate investor for, I guess, man, it's so crazy. Now it's 25 plus years. So it's almost half my adult life, which is insane. I grew up in New Jersey. I have a finance degree. And one of the things was, I got to put in the chat, if you've ever read the book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Put in the chat. So for me, if you haven't, make sure you read it. I was nerdy enough to even have the board game. And I realized my dad was poor dad, and I was on the path of poor dad. Got my finance degree. I started working at banks. And my goal was to become a regional manager at a bank. And then I read Rich Dad Poor Dad, and I realized, okay, I'm going to never be financially free. So I got my mortgage license. I started buying properties. I was up to, gosh, almost 28 properties during the height of the market back from 2001 to 2007. As you can imagine, I was an amazing real estate investor, just like everybody else. Prices were going up. And then when the big market crashed, I lost everything. So I went from 28 properties, millions of dollars to losing everything. I spent well over $50,000 on a national program back then. The program was based out of Utah, great information. The challenge was the mentor was in Utah. No idea about the South Florida market. Also, for 50,000 plus back in 2008, inflation numbers about $75,000 today. And I realized I was only allowed two emails a week and one phone call. So what I could tell you, if you're working on deals, that's definitely not enough with a mentor. And for me, I said, like, wow, I got to really figure out something. And the cool thing that turned out was they said, go to your local RIA. So that's how I found BRIA. So what I did was, which is really funny, is my parents said, you tried it your way, go back to corporate America. And as a good Indian son from New Jersey, what did I do? Guess. Slept on my cousin's couch, didn't go back to corporate America, took my last bit of money for Bria's coaching program. And that program, they did not put up the money for the deals. And fast forward, I was one of the top students and I bought the companies from Bill and Jan Leon. That was, gosh, man, I can't believe it's almost 11 years ago. About 5 years ago, I renamed Bria to BPM RIA because I was getting tired of everyone thinking I only bought in Broward County. And now I wasn't even thinking big enough because we're buying all over Florida. So for right now, the BPM is Broward, Palm Beach, Miami-Dade. And yes, we are buying it all the way through Florida. So one of the things that we always talk about is, are you living your best life? And that's why what you're going to start seeing with BPM RIA, we are adding more mindset workshops. And the reason we're adding these workshops is that I could teach you how to flip houses. I could teach you how to analyze properties. What I can't teach you is if you deserve to make money and live the life you want. So this wholesaling rehabbing allowed my wife and I to travel around the world. If you've been following me on social media, I get to do a lot of stuff with my dad. Unfortunately, I didn't get as much time with my mom before she passed. So I am committed to put family first and make money, not or. As I mentioned in the beginning of this webinar, I'm actually in Medellin, Colombia, last minute flight. It's my nephew's 15th birthday. And I said, hey, I got to hop in there also. Harry, do you want to introduce yourself too?
Well, thank you, Anish and Alexa. My name is Harry Diamond. I started about 13 years ago, 2012, after running two companies, corporate America, and then having a farm market up in Vermont. I knew that real estate would be an additional stream of income. I didn't know anything else about real estate. I did join one of those national programs, also spent about $50,000. That it seems to be the magic number and the commonality between most of us, but never did a deal. But they did say go to your local RIAs, and that's how I also found BRIA, the Broward Real Estate Investment Association, now BPM. And they held my hand. They showed me exactly what I needed to do. My wife and I, technically, we burned the boats, just followed the leader, did what they told us to do, and quickly shot up to be the #1 students. We were so successful that we felt an obligation to pay it forward and become mentors and help people like ourselves, like you out there, achieve your goals in this South Florida market. It is an incredible journey, and it has enabled us to do a lot of traveling internationally, which was another commonality between all of us. We just love it, and welcome to the call today, or well, webinar, whatever we call these things now, Zoom.
Webinar, workshops, all the above, right? And so the other things that I've been also part of is the Miami Dolphins Business Combine. What I love about Stephen Ross, even though he is the owner of the Miami Dolphins, he made all his money through real estate. So he is committed in teaching these young men what to do with their money outside of football. I am also the wholesale rehab expert for PAC. That's the professional athletic community. They are now up to 6 major sports, including baseball, women's basketball, women's rowing. They are blowing up and really transforming these lives of these young athletes. And I'm honored to be part of their real estate team as the expert for wholesaling rehabbing. We do some pretty fun events at BPM RIA. We've done barbecues, happy hours. We actually even had a bowling event. So we're all about building the community. Some of the other things that we've also done is the National RIA Cruise. This was a couple years back when we all went to Alaska. They do that every couple years to Alaska, but every year we have a National RIA Cruise, and our next one is February 1st to the 8th. It is out of Miami. It's 7 days of fun and education. You'll see national speakers. You get to hang out with us. The sea days, we learn a ton of stuff, and we have lots of fun too. And I'm not an accountant. And I'll say is a lot of times this can be a tax write-off. Bring your family, all the above. So it's pretty fun. I've been going to it for, gosh, almost 13 or 14 years. And I learned something every time on the cruise, right? Some of the other cool things I've been up to is I've been on Money Chat, and I also got to meet Grant Cardone. I was their first guest on Money Chat with Trina Robinson as the housing expert. Grant Cardone. One of the things is I wasn't a big fan of him in the beginning or his social media until I actually got to meet him. One of the things I do really like about him, his passion is to teach young adults or kids about real estate and financial freedom. So it really changed my mind after I got to see him. His social media is really not my cup of tea, and I understand why he does it too. So I'm going to play a quick video of what we've been up to before we get started. And this is an idea of what BPM RE has been doing.
This is one of the best programs I've been a part of. The support is outstanding.
I encourage you to join this association. Your life will be changed.
Nish and everybody that was part of the BPM RIA they were just wonderful. They got very knowledgeable. They were helpful. They were patient, kind, very good teachers, very organized. Everything was just it was a great uh, quick start seminar.
BPM RIA, Anish and the team, they are amazing. I have been a corporate member of the BPM RIA, formerly known as BRIA, for probably almost 15 years. And being part of an organization like that is just amazing when you get to see the people's lives that they're changing.
Hey, what's up? This is Avery Boss, former New York Giant, former Miami Dolphin. Recently, I got to finish up this pack event where it was a group of professional retired athletes that got together and we're trying to figure out the next chapter of our life. Just hearing them talk, going through everything, like instantly, I was inspired by the guy. It was like a light bulb flicked above my head like a cartoon. And thanks to Nish Dave, I can say furthermore, I'm going to go through this process and get into real estate, stop messing around and actually do it because I feel confident now of knowing what I want to do after meeting him, getting a base knowledge and seeing how things are.
Position. Grab the seat of the chair. The seat.
There you go.
Which would be out of order should you want to. All right. Go straight to the floor, not at an angle, straight up and down. The seat is straight to the floor. Touch it once.
You're gonna destroy that shit, dude.
Touch it a third time.
And I have to say, they're an exceptional bunch of people to work with. How to use a technique, creative financing, how to get rid of liens. Don't hesitate to join, work with them. They will definitely help you get through the roughest times.
They put up all the money for the deals. They're there with you, make sure all the paperwork is right. They're not going to leave you alone on this. And yeah, I recommend this.
BPM RIA program. It's definitely changed our lives. They funded our deals.
Hey, can't go wrong with other people's money.
Exactly. You know, they funded our deals. They got us into real estate. They held our hand the whole way through, and just really, the most amazing thing is we literally have these guys to. It's nothing for us to pick up the phone and call Anish and be like, hey, look, we got this deal. What do we do?
They're not gonna let your deal fall through.
Okay, so one of the things before we even get started is that for the people that were laughing that I hit my face, I know who you are, is number one. No, I'm only playing with you. So one of the things, and again, we'll talk about a little bit about Marshall Silver and the Turning Point. Many of you guys already signed up. I do have them flying in, so it'll be pretty awesome. And so let's get back to what are we really looking for? We're looking for motivated sellers. I think number one that, Harry, we run in this all the time. And again, I'll be the first one to admit it, was when I first started looking at buying real estate, I was looking for distressed properties. And the answer is it could be distressed and they're not motivated. The house could be perfect condition and they're motivated. So actually, you know what, before we even kind of get started, I'm just kind of curious in the group, how many of you guys need to make more money? Give me a yeah, buddy, because I always want to make sure that you guys are alive. So it's not just me and Harry and I talking, okay? Juliana, Enrico, Rosa, okay. Mitchell, okay. Carl, yep, okay. I'm always wondering, because if you don't put in the chat, well, what are you guys doing, right? Maybe I should be taking your course. Okay. All right, a couple of you guys. Okay. How many of you guys realize that if you don't sharpen your skills in real estate, it's going to cost you money? Give me a yeah, buddy. All right, a couple of you guys. Absolutely. Okay. All right, they're alive. They're alive. Okay. And ultimately, the last question is, how many of you guys realize nothing's for free and you're going to have to invest in yourself? Give me a yeah, buddy. And so for the next hour, what we're going to do is we're going to show you how to analyze deals real quick, put an offer in. I'm going to talk to you about our one-on-one coaching program where I put up 100% of the money for the deals and why you're going to want to invest in it. I'm going to show you some real deals of what we're doing and take it from there. So again, we're looking for motivated sellers. So what are some of the motivations? Put in the chat. What would be a motivation for homeowners? Okay, yep. Foreclosure, I am. Marlene, divorce, medical bills, yep. Behind on payments, loss of income, death. Marlena, death. Yes, that could do it. Maybe they won't, they should be motivated. Obviously not the person that passed away, right? The family. Financial distress, they could be behind on their taxes, relocation. Okay, yeah. All right, we got it, right? So the question then becomes, what do you need to make an offer? Right? So we find a motivated seller. What are the components on making an offer? What do you need? Yeah, Marlene, you want to ask them why, right? What their need is. What's really important, why I know for a fact why Harry and Victoria are so good at what they do is they really listen. Harry, what kind of opening questions do you use to talk to a homeowner?
Well, I know a lot about what's going on before I get to the house, so I can go right to more direct questions. So I make them feel comfortable about who they're talking to, me, and questions I could ask is, basically, since I know what's going on, what is the 2% that I don't know is what they want to do. So I generally have a good idea of what's happening in their situation. So I know that I'm answering this roundabout, Anish, but
well, I would say, well, first of all, Harry and Victoria's niche is pre-foreclosure. They do all sorts of deals, and they really like pre-foreclosure because it's double folds, right? You're helping out homeowners is number one. They do a lot of probates also. So that's why when Harry says he knows about the information, he does enough research on their case when it's in pre-foreclosure.
Yeah, Florida is a good state for getting that information readily available to just about everybody.
Yep. And so when you make an offer, right, he finds out what their needs are. There's a couple components that you need, right? You need a contract. So we use in Florida, what we really push also is the FAR bar as is contract. So I know there's some national people that teach 1-page, 2-page contracts, as Kevin Thatcher from Independence Title at the Quick Start, he always says, yeah, you could go under contract literally on a napkin. What do you do when there's a problem? So for us, we use a FAR bar as is contract. One of the things I will tell you, if you're a realtor, you do have access to these contracts. If you are not a realtor, we can put it in the chat. It is altastar.com, altastar.com. I know Harry or Alexa will put that in the chat for me. There you could get licensing agreements. So again, you want to use the 13 or 14-page contract is number one. What else do you guys need for a contract besides a contract? What other components to make an offer? Yeah, you want to build rapport, right? I agree with you. Now you already built rapport and you're deciding on a price. And we'll go into how we do a quick calculations. Right? You need money, consideration, guys. So you have to put a deposit down. So I've seen, actually, we did an event in Boca, a young, I don't want to call them couple, or they could be a couple. They were doing their first wholesale deal, which was awesome. They got it under contract. And guess what? They did not put a deposit down. And I joked about it, was, hey, why don't you give me that address because I'll put a deposit down. And because right now you do not have a valid contract. So you definitely need to put a deposit down. Where do you put a deposit? Do you give it to the homeowner? Where do you guys put it? Okay, title company, yes, okay. I just want to make sure you guys are living, right? So you do not want to give it to the seller. So for us, definitely we give it to our title company. They'll get you an escrow letter. So again, we're usually going after a lot of off-market properties. So I would not give it to my broker. I'm a licensed real estate agent also, so I would not include that in there. Okay, so now we have title company, an offer, and we have a contract. We're gonna put on this contract, we're gonna put inspection days. If you're the buyer, how many inspection days would you guys put on there? Okay, couple of you guys, I see a couple here, right? The more the better is number one, is what I'm going to tell you. Lester, if we get 21 days, that'd be awesome. I could tell you on the FAR bar as is contract, if you leave it blank, it's 15 days. What most sellers, they probably won't give you 15 days. Usually we're getting 7 to 10. Again, those are marketing days, so that's important for us to get an inspection. I know our contractor, Carl Shealy, is on this webinar. Again, he's going to be a speaker at the 2-day quick start. If I walk the property with Carl Shealy and he says it's a go, I could do a 0-day inspection. What I'm going to tell you for you guys, always get inspection days. That way you could get out of the contract if you offer too much, right? So we're always talking about exit strategies, right? So when we are on the wholesale side, what we're trying to do is, right, we're finding another buyer. So Harry, do you want to give your quick version of what wholesaling means to you?
Wholesaling is buying it low and selling and reselling it for a very low price.
Yes, right? So buy low, sell low, meaning, right, not less than you bought it for, meaning low price that there's enough room for someone else to make money. So it depends your exit strategy. Are you selling it to a rehabber? Are you selling it to a buy and hold client, right? Are you selling it to a rehabber that actually doesn't mind rehabbing and he's going to buy and hold, right? So that makes a big difference. So when you're looking and identifying properties, we have to identify rental properties. And so one of the things that what we have to figure out is, how do you get those rental numbers? What ways can you find out what a property rents for? Put in the chat. There's the obvious one. Yep, rent. Oh, she's got Marlena. That's one of mine. Yes, Rent-A-Meter. Absolutely. Right, real estate professional. Marlena's cheating. No, REIFax. She knows, she's experienced. She's been around us for a long time, right? Yep, you can use Rentcast and or local Section 8 housing department. Actually, Zillow now actually has rentals too, right? So we want to know what the rental market is in that neighborhood. I love Section 8 because it's guaranteed money, right? So every first of the month. So a lot of times I've seen now that some of the locations, the 3 bedrooms in Miramar are up to $3,300. So it's pretty good when it comes to rental numbers. Again, the reason we have to learn this is because when we're selling to our end investor, when we're marketing, we want to make sure we're marketing it the right way. Well, we've seen, lately, prices have leveled off and still the rental numbers don't make much sense. And we'll kind of talk about what cap rate is in a second. So my question is, if you're a buy and hold person, what do you consider a good return on investment? Put in the chat. What's a good number, right? And again, I'm talking net, right? Cap rate. And I'll talk about what cap rate is. Okay. Marlena, I wish 20%, not in our market. Yep, 8 to 10%. What about the rest of you guys? What's a good return for you guys? Right? Some of you guys, and we come to the meetings and you guys tell me, I want to be a buy and hold person. Okay, so 10. Got it. So one of the challenges, right, and we'll kind of talk about it, is what we want to figure out is cap rate. So cap rate equals total income minus expenses, your net operating income divided by market value. And I'm going to go through an example. What I can tell you, right, the higher the number, right, is like when you're saying 10%, I can tell you in our market, the neighborhoods are not going to be great. If you could get 10%. It might be in like Overtown, even though Overtown's better, or Opa-locka or Sistrunk. I know what you guys are going to tell me. My realtor friends will always call those what? Up and coming areas, right? So the higher the return, right? Or let me rephrase it the other way. The worse the neighborhood, the higher return you want. Right? Are you guys getting that? So if it's a tougher neighborhood, you're taking a risk. At BPM RIA, we have a 10,000 plus cash buyers list. We have buyers that really there's only a couple, and they like war zone neighborhoods. And I was like, there is no chance I'm picking up the rent there. There's no chance I could find a property manager that wants to be there. These buyers, why they like it, guess what their profession is? Put in the chat, what do you think their profession is that they may not be as scared to go into those neighborhoods? I love it. Lone Shark. Marlena is hysterical. She's a comedian. Bill collecting. Yep. So guess what? Police officers. Yep. So we have some buyers and they're real estate investors. They don't mind going into some of the neighborhoods because they already patrol them. So they're actually collecting rent from there. Guess what? That's not my business model. I do not want to put my life on the line to try to collect rent. It just doesn't work for me. The point of that story is there's different people for different markets. What I can tell you, we sell to some of the biggest hedge funds out there, and they some of the nice neighborhoods, they're okay with a 2 or 3% return. Why would hedge funds consider 2 or 3%? All right, why do you think they would consider 2 or 3%?
They don't know what the hell they're doing. I know that's not the answer.
I know that's not and it's, they're playing the appreciation game. So two reasons, right? They really, the main reason is when you raise a lot of money, you have investors. And you're quote unquote, you got pro forma saying our portfolio is going to do X, Y, Z. Well, if you're not buying things, right, you're not going to be able to raise any more money. It sits idle. Investors are not happy. The other thing I can tell you also is that people are very different when it's not their money. Right? Hey, it looks like a great deal. We deal with this with a lot of real estate agents, telling me what a great deal it is, and it really isn't. And my favorite is, oh, the house is worth $400,000. You could get it for $360. There's $40,000 in equity. You just got to upgrade the kitchen and the bathrooms. Right? And the rents are like $2,000. I'm like, okay, it doesn't make any sense. So again, cap rate, and again, this is the basic of the basic. Once you really start getting into properties and buying more properties, you're going to want to start using cash on cash. You're going to want to start using IRR, internal rate of return, to really start analyzing your budget and efficiencies. And then also with IRR, you got to have a finance degree, so I'm not going to be too nerdy. The reason you use IRR is if you have two different investments, you can compare them. So again, basic cap rate, and we're assuming we're buying everything cash. So let's say we have a house for $400,000. Our rent is $4,000 a month, monthly, right? So basic math, $48,000 for the year. Expenses, right? Insurance, $6,000. That can depend, if you're in a flood or not. That's a whole nother world of what's happening with insurance. Taxes, $8,000, right? I'm just using 2%. Maintenance, I'm only using 5%. You should put some number for maintenance, even if it's rented full time and it doesn't need any maintenance. Those are CapEx expenses that you will have maintenance down the road. Property management, for me, most of the real estate investors, if you're starting to build a big portfolio, you're not going to manage it yourself. You don't want the headache. So on average, it's 10%. Sometimes if you have a lot of properties, same area, you could probably get as low as 8%, right? So the cost is $28,000. What I did not put on there, and if you're going to start borrowing money from banks, they're going to put a 25% vacancy also. So 48,000 in income, 28,000 in expenses, right? You divide, so your net income is 28,000, I'm sorry, it's 12,000 expenses. So your net operating income is 48,000 divided by 400,000. Your cap rate is 7%. How many guys understand what I just did? Give me a thumbs up in the chat. You guys are following me? Again, this is basic. If it was 2 or 3%, right? On a money market, I could get 4%. Why would I want to take the risk? So as an investor, so when people try to sell me deals, right, you're going to hear people all the time, the rent is 4,000, but you could easily get 5,000 or 6,000. The deal for me is I only pay what the rent is today. When Harry and I sell the properties, what do, Harry?
$6,000 a month.
Right? It depends which hat you're wearing. As a buyer, everything's an expense, right? Oh my gosh, this is a problem. As a seller, look what you can do. Wow, you could add a bathroom, right? You could do all these other things. You can make it a short-term rental. And again, we're using regular rental numbers, right? And at the same time, we sell to a lot of Airbnb. So they're running a business out of there. So their numbers are definitely different than ours. So the question is, right, how do we make a quick offer on a property? So what we use, this is a simple example, ARV, after repair value. What does that mean? Put in the chat. Give me a quick version of what after repair value means. Yeah, Marlena. Right after it's all fixed up. So the house is not in great condition. And what is it worth if I was going to fix it up and sell it? That becomes the question. So we take the after repair value times 0.75. And again, this depends on which market you're in. Some of the national guys, they're doing 0.6. We've gone up to even up to 0.8 just to make sure our offer is not too low. Again, we want to make sure we're comparing apples to apples, right? We've done a property analysis webinar before. What we want to do is make sure that if we're picking something, if our subject property is east of 95, we're not picking something on the other side. So let's take an example. And then you want to minus the repair cost. And that's what your offer comes up to. So, right, let's just say the ARV is 275, all fixed up. Repairs are 50,000, right? Simple formula. You want to be around 156. What I tell people all the same time when they use this formula, it doesn't have to be, or 157 or 156.5, right? If it comes out to a weird number of 156, 286, you don't need to do that, right? You could estimate up or down in general, right? So that's our quick version of the offer. So some of the things that we take into account, right, are big ticket items. So put in the chat, what would be some big ticket items when you're looking at a house? Okay, yep, roof, air conditioning, AC, yep. HVAC, windows. Okay, kitchen, yeah, okay. Yeah, you guys are getting the idea. Right, foundation. So again, there's a bunch, and these are the most common is roof, right? Electrical and plumbing. Yep, Enrico, you got it. AC, HVAC, right? And my favorite, illegal additions. So is anyone in this webinar living in the Hialeah area? So I know we get a lot of people that are not local. My Hialeah people, and if you know what I'm going to say, bear with me. And what I mean by that is in Hialeah, and I love Hialeah. I have a lot of friends there that buy properties. They'll have, I'm not even kidding, a 16 or 1,500 square foot house, 8 bedroom, 2 bath. Right? It's illegal, maybe 3-2. So for us, you know, what we want to do is when we're buying it, we're talking about, you know, illegal additions. It's always a problem. Outside of Hialeah, some of the biggest illegal additions, right? What do you think are, besides garage, what are some of the illegal additions that you're saying, Harry?
Oh, sheds are one, but the illegal additions, you know, they put up fencing, non-permitted fencing. Just
Right.
it's outside the structure, the main structure.
And that's like one of the things that always drives me nuts. I'm just like, okay, well, you know, when it's as a buyer, it's always a problem. And then as a seller, what are we always telling people? And what I'm going to do in the meantime, while Harry's chatting, I'm going to open up RIAFAX to kind of show you some what's out there too.
Well, definitely, as we're wearing different hats, we're the same people. So when we buy, we want to buy it low, and when we sell, we want to sell it a little higher. So everything looks good when we're selling, and everything looks bad when we're buying. So we know how over the years, we learned how to do this, and this is what we teach, how to identify these factors and how to utilize the same exact issue both ways.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do is, I mean, I'm going to kind of wing this. I had an idea what I was going to do, and now I think I'm going to change it. So, I mean, unless Harry, do you have a house or an address that we could kind of just run and see what a quick offer might be? Do you have? I mean, we could use.
You want to do 6321 Farragut?
You could do that. If someone in the chat, if they have an address off the top of their head, I could do that. But yeah, let's just do 6321. Sorry, guys. I know that's some massive background noise. I am in a hotel in Medellin, so apologize.
Got a beautiful backyard, the hotel. I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah. So
Green.
I'm going to show you, this is an actual student deal that actually she's going to win a nice big award in our November meeting. She's going to get a big fat check. This is Marcelo's deal. Right. So again, some of you guys, how many guys are familiar with REIFax? Just give me a yeah, buddy. I'm just curious. So the owner of REIFax, Francisco Mago, has been with BPM RIA for, I guess, it's probably almost 17, 18 years. This is the software I use to find deals. Not only do I love this, I pay for this when you're in our coaching program. So here's the software. And then again, today's not a software class. This is to make an offer class, right? So we're going to put it up. Let's see. I'm going to show some pictures of it too. In the meantime, do you want to just give the quick rundown how she found the deal? This is one of Harry's students.
She found the deal. It was in pre-foreclosure, identified through REIFax. She reached out to the owner's family because the owner actually lives mostly in El Salvador. But the daughter and grandson were living in the house. The pictures you're seeing are after the house has been cleaned out. So imagine it with a lot of clutter and dirt and other things. The pictures look great compared to what the house looked like when we walked in. But she consistently followed up and connected with them, solved their problems, and were able to make them an offer that was satisfactory to pay the bank off in full. It did have equity. And the sellers were able to walk with an amount that they felt very comfortable with.
Yeah, so I'm trying to make them bigger. I don't know why it's not, but you guys get an idea. It's been cleared up. All right. So you guys can see the wall unit. It's so the other funny thing is he's right. I mean, this cleaned up is like they had 12 dogs.
That's right. They had 12 dogs in cages. There was a lot of, she wasn't a hoarder, or they weren't hoarders, but they were accumulators of a lot of stuff. AC unit wasn't working, even though it was from 2017. For some reason, they had stuffed the vents with pillows and other things, so the ducting wasn't working. That's why they had the window AC units. The roof is not leaking, but it is past its lifespan. It's over 10 years old.
So this shows up as a legal 2-2. Yeah, the third room. So what you want to do is do comps, right? You want to do these. Got too many screens open here. Give me 1 second here. All right. So what you want to do is, distance, half a mile. Let's just do 2 bedrooms, 2 bath. Right? Pretend that someone gave the address. Okay, not enough comps. Let's go back. We could add, what do you want me to add? Living area.
25% square footage. Most systems will search automatically within the past 6 months, quarter-mile radius, and plus or minus 10% square footage. The problem with REIFax, not a problem with REIFax, but REIFax does go back 1 year. The problem with most of the systems is that they're only as good as the information they're receiving. And the property appraiser doesn't know how many beds and baths the house is. So we will see a lot of them listed as 2-2s, but when they're resold, they're either 3-bed or 4-bed and 2-bath, 3-bath. Those can change. So even though the systems are able to quickly develop a list of comparables, I take the beds and baths with a grain of salt until we know we're dealing with the homeowner. But here, obviously, that's not what this webinar is about. This webinar is to find what are the after repair values, what are the houses that have sold in the area, regardless of beds and baths, and then we have an approximate ARV. So there, as you're seeing, Anish has highlighted properties that are in the last 6 months. Looks like June, July, and August of 2025, and the houses are ranging from 500 to 560, regardless of beds and baths.
Yep. So the quick version, right? The idea of this again is this is the quick version before you even go to the house. You sent a letter, they call you, you try to make an appointment, and they say, well, no, you're the investor. What are you going to offer me? Right. So you're going to say, I mean, I could do this in real time on the phone. What I would tell you is talk to the homeowner. How old's the roof? They're going to tell you it's X amount of years or it doesn't leak, but they don't know. If it's brand new, they'll tell you. You could go into the public records and permits to see when the roof was done. You could ask them about the kitchen, bathrooms. If they're upgraded, they'll tell you. Well, if they're not, they're going to say, no, everything's great, it works. Right? They might say it's a 3-2. We look on public records, it's a 2-2. So you could literally, okay, a new roof, this amount of square feet, $14,000, $15,000. Bathroom, all this other good stuff. When you do the quick start, we actually give you those numbers. With Carl Sheely, our students already have it. What we've also done for our students, we even created an advanced ChatGPT that actually does a rehab estimator. These are new tools that we've added for our students. So let's just say for easy numbers, right? Fixed up. And what you really want to do is look into these other properties, make sure they're fixed up, how they're fixed up. And for easy numbers, let's use, I don't know, let's use 525 as our ARV. So if someone has a calculator, I could actually get a calculator and you'll open one up. So 525 times 0.75 is
393 plus.
393. Okay. So let's talk about repairs. And again, we walked this house. So we talked about roof, kitchen, bathrooms, all the above, flooring. There was a water leak that was also happening. The AC actually worked fine. We roughly estimated, right? So again, if they tell you roof, just get some rough estimate, rough numbers. It's not going to be exact. It's about $80,000. So if you take the 393, or let's just say, and then we also add oops money. Again, we go over this during the quick start where you guys will analyze a property. And so let's just say for easy numbers, 90,000 is the repair costs. So again, would we use 525 times 0.75? Harry, what does that come out to? 393, you said?
Yeah, I was already went through the rest of it.
Oh, okay. What's the final number?
It's 393. So yeah, less 90 is 303.
Yep.
About
So
300,000 would be the maximum allowable offer, plus or minus a little bit.
yep. So that's the way to at least get an offer, get a contract out there. They may say it's too low. They might say yes, it might be worse. You just don't know. The key is you just need to get it under contract. There, ideally in a perfect world, to get to the house, to walk it for real, right? And if we're really rehabbing it, we'll have our contractor, Carl Sheely, come out with us. He'll walk the house all the way through. What you don't want is the analysis paralysis side of it. So again, if you really have the numbers of what the repair costs, again, and that's a simple phone call. And if they don't tell you, or they're like, this, just assume it's going to need everything. Bathrooms, kitchen, flooring, paint, all the above. And if that number comes out too low, what we use as a technique is, look, Harry, I know the number is low. I haven't seen the house yet. I want to go out there and see the house. So that's the idea, right? So you could literally write it up an offer for 300,000 in less than 5 minutes. Is it perfect? No. inspection period, right? It gives us time to increase, decrease, renegotiate, all the above. How many guys are seeing how easy that is, right? We literally picked a property. This one's great because it was not listed. Also, it was not only not listed, Marcella went and talked to the homeowner, fixed their problem, and you'll see more about this deal. And we got this deal for $240,000. So how many guys realize we got it for 240? And guess what? We got it sold for 375 and we're closing next week. There is a real estate commission, money costs, all the above, and we should still be looking at a six-figure profit too. How many guys are loving that you can make an offer in less than 5 minutes? Again, you just need the tools, right? And I highly recommend REIFax. It's so funny because so many of you guys, if you're like me and you don't have to share it, I was probably, my number one holdback was analysis paralysis. It wasn't money for the deals at all. Like that drove me nuts. I'm like, geez, I don't know if it's too much. How much is it this or any of the above, right? So wow, we're almost through this. So let me show you some of the deals that we've done with our students, right? So this deal, Harry, you want to explain this?
This was Julio's deal. It was a hoarder house. You couldn't see the house. We cleaned this up in this picture, but the house was about 100 feet back from the road. You couldn't see. It was so overgrown, abandoned cars, numerous liens, violations. Interior, you can see obviously the roof is bad. The ceilings collapsed, leaking. He had no access. He was still living there, the owner. He had no access to the beds, baths, and kitchen for years. His son did not like that his father was living there and took him years to convince the father to move. They originally wanted $700,000 for this house, and no houses were selling for $700,000. It was a 1 acre lot, is a 1 acre lot, and the backyard was just as much of a jungle, sitting on a golf course. But we were able to solve the problems. We let the homeowner talk and ended up the finalization after everything. He says all he wants his father to do is walk with $200,000 net so that he could buy a new house up near where the son lived. The payoff for the bank was supposed to be about 70. Turns out that there was some forbearances and the bank only wanted 25 grand. So the homeowner ended up walking with about $260,000. We put it under contract for $300,000. So it worked out really well. The liens were negotiated, and eventually our buyer paid for it, and led to a $138,000 net profit. All we did was clean up the yard and bring those violations into compliance, and clean out the house because people couldn't see anything in the house, and they didn't want to take the risk of what was in there. So that was one of the bad ones.
Yeah, I was through Driving for Dollars is the way Julio found it. And the other thing is, Harry was talking about the liens. It's my money. So most hard money, they will not lend you the money. Doesn't matter how your finances are, your credit, if there's liens or violations. So Harry's an expert on negotiating those liens. So it was from around $350 or $380 to less than $3 for the liens, with a hard cost of about $1,600 and change. And then this deal, same thing, another move-in ready house. We cleaned it up, right? This was a double probate. We were in the middle of doing the first probate. And one of the things, again, we couldn't even see the house from the road. What we found, unfortunately, was one of the heirs, the son was actually living in the front yard. Unfortunately, he passed away also. We had to do a double probate. We were able to track down the heirs. We paid for the probates, right? And I believe we bought it for what, 107, or we're all in for
120, I think, all in.
120, 120,000. Another wholesale profit, 110. Again, these numbers are net profit. and the student makes 50%. And they're literally working one-on-one with a mentor. Harry, sometimes we'll go out to the house with him. He'll teach what you need to say. The cool thing is all the mentors were former students. They get paid out of my 50%, so they have a vested interest in you doing well also. This was a reverse mortgage short sale. They were going to walk away from the house. Harry, again, as I said, loves short sales as an expert. He bought the house for $171,000. And guess what? Nice wholesale profit for $179,000. How many of you guys put in the chat if you did a $179,000 deal once a year and they change your life? Give me a yeah.
Didn't touch it, didn't fix it up, didn't clean it out. The only thing I did was break a window to get in when the banks changed the locks.
Yep. So another move-in ready deal, right? Move-in ready house. Unsafe structure, another one of Harry's deal. This is, yes, black mold. That's
Yep,
Harry.
it's a charming house. Always wear, some sort of breathing apparatus when you go in, a mask minimum. Try to protect your shoes, and don't touch anything. But this was pretty bad. The son was living in that front room and that window right there with his dog. It was the only room that was habitable. It's the best word. But we solved his problem. The city actually threw him out because they said it was an unsafe structure. The roof was gone, and the city was afraid that it would create a fire or some other issues and unsafe for him to live in.
Absolutely. And it's funny because early in my career, I walked away from all these houses. I didn't have a power team. I had no idea what I was doing. And just the thought of that was like way too stressful. Yeah, the price of this house. Yeah, we didn't put the price on this. We only care about the net profit. I don't even know what do you remember what you bought this for, Harry? Was it? I don't even remember. 150, 160.
Yeah, it was in the low 100s.
Low 100s, yeah.
I don't remember.
Most expensive house that we showed you was a $300,000 house. So now I know some of you guys are thinking, this all sounds great, but can I really do it? That's exactly what one of our students said until they did this.
Hi, everybody. My name is Antonio Lopez. My company name is Antlop Investment Properties. And before I met Anish Dave and joined the BPM RIA mentoring, I had just a basic idea of what I needed to do in real estate investing. After I joined, aside from learning pretty much everything that was required to learn about real estate investing and to become successful, one of the biggest benefits that I received was the amazing network of people that were part of the club. Everything that you can think of, everything that you need in order to be successful in real estate investing, you can find it here at the BPM RIA. So thank you so much, BPM and Anish, for everything. I really appreciate it. I owe you guys a ton. And for you guys watching this, I highly encourage you to check out BPM RIA. It's the first place you need to, where you want to start your real estate investing journey. So,
yeah, what I love about Antonio is that he's a short-term rental expert. He is creating the first Latin or Hispanic RIA, which is pretty amazing. And he's been on the stages of IMN conference as a speaker training. So again, he started from no real estate experience, and now just watching his journey is pretty amazing too. This is one of Harry's deals too. You want to talk about this quickly?
Yeah, the last house we bought for 147, by the way. This house was in pre-foreclosure, did have equity, was an estate, the guy died. So the trick was, or the art was, to find the heir. And it turns out he had a brother as the sole heir who hadn't even spoken to him in 35 years. So we made the brother an arrangement to sell the house so he could get some funds as well. I think we paid him like 30 grand. We bought this house, I think, for 110, and we had 120, and that was with the $30,000. We paid the bank off in full, and I put this in my Roth. Anish mentioned to let the Roth buy it so I could earn tax-free growth. We didn't expect this kind of profit margin, but we did find a buyer, actually a South American buyer, I think from Ecuador, who wanted to live in this. So they offered us $310,000, and after all expenses and money costs and et cetera, I was able to net $145,000 tax free.
Yep, on a $1,000 investment. So our job is to teach you how to make money and then keep it legally, meaning just pay your fair taxes. This is another 2 duplexes, same thing. Harry was on a roll that month. One was in pre-foreclosure, one was free and clear. The son did not want the property. So it's been pretty interesting. What I've seen is how many people, they're building a portfolio, they want to leave it for generational wealth, and how many of the kids or their heirs do not want properties and they just want the money. So again, Harry fixed the problem. He was gonna.
Yeah, I thought I was gonna put it in my Roth and earn that generational income. 13 days later, someone had made an offer to the point where I couldn't refuse.
Yep, and again, same $1,000, 265,000. This is our record profit on wholesaling, and again, tax free. So if you're doing the math, same $1,000 has earned over $400,000 tax free. So we also, besides wholesaling, we do rehab houses. This is a student deal. We could have easily wholesaled it. The numbers weren't great on the wholesale number. When I say the numbers weren't great, 5,000, 10,000, we said, you know what? It's an easy rehab. Cleaned it up. We staged the houses, right? Looks pretty. So $67,000 in 118 days. The reason the rehab only took 30 days, it was an FHA buyer, so you had to wait 90 days to go under contract. These kind of deals we do with our elite students. We have a rehab option where I fund the deals. You'll work with our team, our contractor, and so you'll actually learn how to rehab houses hands-on. So let's shift gears for a second, because while the numbers are pretty impressive, what we really do here at BPM is change lives. The next story gets me every single time.
My name is Kevin Tyree. My company name is, I work with BPM REAR. Before joining BPM REAR, my previous career, I worked at the Port of Miami for 23 years, and I also was a buy and hold investor. After joining BPM REAR, I've learned how to wholesale, short sales, work with probate properties, and things of that nature. Join BPM. Thanks, Anish. My name
so I love what Kevin is. He's a licensed real estate agent. He's an investor. He owns his properties free and clear, and he just wanted to add another active income. So that's how he started actually, wholesaling deals. Again, he does have some real estate experience, but not as an investor. So here's another house that we bought, Hollywood again. The bones were great, meaning the roof was good, right? We went in there, rehabbed it, staged it. You guys are starting to notice it's the same kind of colors all the way through, right? This one wasn't bad. This is with Latanya. We did the rehab in less than 60 days. The net profit again is $167,000. So Latanya made over $80,000 with none of her own money, right? For how many of you guys this would make a difference for you? Give me a yeah, buddy. And if it hasn't, I'm always kind of curious what you guys are doing, right? This is another house right in North Miami. One of our deals with Violet, same thing. She got this from a bird dog. This was a neighbor that said, hey, you got to get down here. They're cleaning out the house. So this wasn't a bad deal. A 3-2, $170,000 profit. Imagine buying a 3-2 in Miami for $185,000. Again, this is net profit, didn't touch the house.
Yeah, sold it as is. The picture you're seeing is the way it was sold.
Yep. This is another deal with Julio. Again, he loves driving for dollars. And I would have walked away from this house or not noticed that anything was going on. He noticed on the way to the gym that people were cleaning out the house. And he stopped and started talking to them, let them know what they're doing. They were actually going to let it go to foreclosure, right, Harry? They weren't going to do anything.
Yeah, they were just going to let it go.
Yep. And so now we were able to, do you remember how much money we got them? Like,
I'm
what is
sorry,
it?
the microphone broke up. Say again.
Yeah. So you know how much money did we got the heirs? Like 30 or 40,000,
I
somewhere
think it
around
was
there.
like, yeah, I think it was about 30 grand. Yeah.
30 grand. So we looked at rehabbing the house. Julio is an elite student. And guess what? Again, we have a massive cash buyers list. I'm also a licensed agent. And on this one, we did a profit of 122,000. Again, the 3 deals that Julio, what did they net, Harry?
For
I know
375 grand.
Yeah. And again, he's working full time. He's doing this as a part-time business. This was a deal that they were going to walk away. They thought this would be a tear down. I bought this house for 150,000. We were able to wholesale this. This was a pretty good payout. 235,000. Our partner made over $17,000 on a deal that that they thought would be a tear down. So this is 55 and over, black mold, right? So
First
again,
I've seen.
yeah, I was gonna say on the outside, it doesn't look bad. Until you go inside, this is with our student Sandra, and Harry, again, not fixed the house, let me rephrase that, fixed the problem, I should say. And on this deal, we did $61,000
And
too.
sold it full of all that stuff and all the mold as is. We did not touch the property.
Yep, exactly. And so here's one of our students that actually did her first, actually did a quick start, and this is what she had to say.
Hi, my name's Nicole Bergatti. I'm with Bergatti Properties, and I'm currently a full-time employee of CBRE. I'm events and meeting coordinator. And prior to starting the 2-day quick start course, I've always wanted to do real estate. I've always been interested in flipping homes and all that good stuff. And I knew Anish, and I knew that this is what he did. And he's so smart and he knows real estate so well. And so I went ahead and just took the course, and I am so glad I did, because a couple months later, we ended up closing a deal that was worth $42,000. And that's great money. And now I have a few more deals in the pipeline, and I'm super excited about my investing future. And that wouldn't have been possible without Anish and his team. And I 100% recommend that you take this course, get started, and do it.
Yeah, and so one of the things that I do like about Nicole, she's in the hotel business, and she was unsure if this was for her. And the way she really got the deal, it was funny because once you start learning this, what she realized, she started looking houses different. It was one of her mom's friends that unfortunately she started having dementia, and the son had to take over the house. And he actually had a piano that he wanted to gift Nicole. So she went to the house and she's like, "Oh my God, thank you for the piano." And she goes, "Hey, what are you doing with the house?" And that's how it started. Fast forward, $42,000 profit too. Rosa, I know you got a question. She's asking, hey, I'm new to wholesaling business. What if you're starting as me and don't have money to buy? I would assign the contract. How do you keep the house clean, for example? Got it. So again, if we only clean out the houses that we buy, we already know that there's a ton of room to make money, right? I'm using my own funds. What I can tell, generally speaking, if you're selling to other more retail, like you saw some of the houses with the hoarder stuff, they're going to offer you less. When it's cleaned out, we've been getting more money, especially if you're selling it as a real estate agent, right? It's just different. Saying all that, there's a ton of people that would have bought the house as is, right, on the assignment. So don't let that stop you. If they're true investors like us, like that doesn't bother me at all. So again, the reason I do it is on average, we're probably getting an extra 10 grand selling it via retail or just because it's cleaned up. So like, besides that one house that was, gosh, I don't know, 16 dumpsters. I don't know how many cars. I think our cleanup cost $8,000. The other house that we showed that was kind of messy, on average, the cleanups are costing about $2,000 to $2,500, and we're making probably an extra 10 grand. So it's a calculated risk for me, which really is not a risk. And for you, if you're not buying it, you're not going to clean it up. You could just assign it. So that makes sense too.
I want
So
to
good.
answer Esther's question really quick.
Yep.
All of our, Esther, you are a student for life. Once you do our program, let me turn off my camera so I'm not glitching. Once you do our program, you get access to our student support classes to continue that education. And we have students that come back years later and still want to do deals with Anish. So just know that you are always a student with us once you join our program. It's
Yeah.
just going to be a couple things that expire, like your subscriptions. So if you have any questions, just book a call with me on the website. But we have students that, graduated from the program years ago, and they still bring deals to Anish and partner with him 50-50. So that's really what makes us stand out from a lot of programs, you guys.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's just important that you understand it's about the deals. I know a lot of there's some former students, it's been years. I invite you to come back to a quick start. The quick starts have changed dramatically. And sometimes you just need to get re-energized too, right? So, the difference, for us at BPM RIA, we're not just a course. It's a true partnership, right? We fund your deal, we mentor you every step of the way. And yes, you even get my cell phone, right? People always ask me, are you accessible? For our students, absolutely, right? For us, no credit, no problem. We put up 100% of the money. How many guys think it's important that I put up 100% of the money and that make a difference? Give me a yeah, buddy. Also, we go profit sharing with you. We go 50-50 on the profits. We're going to get rid of that analysis paralysis. And the key also is you have direct access to your mentors. So what I've done differently, because we give you so much access to your mentors and myself, we are only taking 6 students per month. That's it. There's only 4 mentors, right? And the mentors, again, get paid out of my 50%. So everyone has a vested interest in you doing well in our program. So our 2 programs that we have our core program and our elite program. The elite is buy one, get one free. So if you have a partner and it's wholesaling and rehabbing, 12 months versus 6 months. They're both excellent programs. I will pay for RIAFAX and ARIA Black Book and a lot of other goodies. What I can tell you is just go ahead and book a discovery call. You guys are going to have more questions. And we do have financing options for your education. In the meantime, we also have our 2-day quick start. That's our last one of the year. And what we're going to do is we're going to have speakers from Kevin Thatcher, Independent Title, Assignments and Double Closings, Carl Sheely, our contractor, the owner of RIAFAX, showing you the software, and Jose Ramirez from Advanced Tax Advisors. We're going to go A to Z how to really close a deal. Some of the other things that we're also doing, again, members are $495. Non-members are $695. I do have a couple bonuses. So this is going to be kind of big, actually.
So sorry. We have early bird running until October 15th, you guys. So please, I keep forgetting to remind you guys about that. October 15th, you can get $100 off. Don't ask for an exception.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. I didn't even know we're running that long. Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, hey, you got paid. You guys just made $100. Is what I'm going to tell you, right? So some of the big bonuses out there, Marshall Silver Turning Point tickets. So those tickets are generally $2,995. I've flown out to California, gosh, and Las Vegas, I feel like 7 or 8 times. He is one of my mentors. Some of you guys are asking me, how in the heck are you able to do all the things that you're doing? And it's a mind shift. And what I mean by that is he helped reprogram what's important to me. And I'll give you the quick version is I no longer say or but. The answer is and, right? So as a bonus for anyone that signs up, I'm going to throw in those 2 tickets. Here's the other cool thing. The event is in Florida, October 14th to the 16th. We are almost sold out also. So
Yes.
I'm actually flying them in so you don't have to even go out to California or Las Vegas. So if you want the bonus, you have to get those tickets today. It's not going to be running forever. Also, I'll transactional funding. You get something under contract, I'll do those deals with you. I'll help you sell it also with our partnership list with 10,000 plus cash buyers. Obviously, our experienced power team, which even that's undervalued at $25,000. It's well over $80,000 in bonuses, guys. You got to take care of this, right? So again, we JV with a quick start with attendees, right? Ready to find deals and get you funded. We provide transactional funding for attendees, right? And you get to leverage my 20 years of experience and expertise. And lastly, here's the most important. I do a money back guarantee. So after the first day, you say, hey, it's not for me. It's not what I thought it was. No question asked. We refund you the $100. No, we refund you everything. So again, you got to let us know. You have to sign up. I'm not sure if this QR code, does this change? I'm not sure on this end of it.
That should work for them. Yeah. I'll double check.
$3.95, $5.95.
Yep, but you guys, you'll see that we have the early bird pricing once you get there, so don't worry.
Yep.
That link works.
Okay, so again, early bird pricing, money back guarantee, the Turning Point tickets. So as long as you buy, I'll give you those tickets because the Turning Point is before the actual quick start. That's all included. So, I know someone is super lucky. They got paid to hang out today. So who's that winner?
Congratulations to Stephen V. I'll be in touch with you. And
Awesome.
so happy for you.
Yeah. And Stephen, if you've already been on a quick start, that could be a fantastic gift, or you could take it over again if you like. Again, we're doing an event this Saturday, non-real estate. It's going to be all about mindset. And really, the idea is imagine creating irresistible influence where people want to sell you the house. They're begging you to sell the house.
Yep.
That's really what the Turning Point is about. And so we're going to just give you a little taste of why we are doing deals and why people sell us their properties, and they're happy to sell us our properties for even less money.
Yep. And if you guys noticed Anish having, growth and mindset and all these breakthroughs, that's not a coincidence. That is because he has been very, very connected with Marshall Silver. So we really just want to bring that to you guys and give you that because it's made such a big impact on the RIA and it's been a domino effect throughout. So
Absolutely. And the cool thing is that for our students, you guys have noticed some changes. That's all the money I spent with Marshall. And guess what? It drips right into our coaching program too. Harry, any last words? I know we're out of time.
Well, I'm glad you guys all attended. It's time to start building your goals and dreams instead of building someone else's.
Yep.
Yes,
and,
sir.
And I'm going to, like today's webinar, as long as you have REIFax and you have some basic information, you saw it took less than 5 minutes to get an offer out there. There is no reason, especially if you put inspection days, you know how to fill out FARBAR as his contract. It shouldn't take you more than 5 minutes to at least put an offer. And the worst thing that's going to happen, you're going to get out of the contract, guys. So again, thank you guys so much. I'm happy that I'm getting to do a webinar back in the swing of things. I'm going to see you guys Saturday. As we said, we're almost going to be sold out. If you do want to get the Turning Point tickets, they are $497 for 2 tickets. And what I would tell you, this is not, the Turning Point is not real estate focused. It is about power, passion, and profit. So if you're lacking one of them or all 3, you don't want to miss it, guys. And thank you again for supporting us. I hope you give us 5-star Google reviews, and I can't wait to see you at our next event.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Harry.
Next
Thanks,
time.
Alexa. Bye.
Bye.